everyone. My name is Santa Martínez, and I am part of the Wisers Group, as well as Rubén Narillo, Leticia Hermoso, Adria Dames, Estefanía Mercedes, and Karina Hernandez. In today's exposition, we will talk about types of essays, part 2. Probably, as soon as I mention type of essays, your brain grabbed you what we learned from previous groups. And who knows what we learned in college. Our focus today is based on the type of essays from the book Evergreen, which will show us the comparison and the contrast essay, the classification essay, the cause and effect essay, and the persuasive essay. This chapter has important information about how to apply 4 more methods of paragraph development that we saw previously. Because an essay is like an expanded paragraph, the same methods we would use to pre-write, organize, and write a paragraph of comparison and contrast. For instance, can also be used to develop an entire essay. The rest of the chapter will show you how, and my colleagues as well. The comparison and the contrast essay, or better known as essays of comparison or contrast, are frequently found and developed in college courses. A compared and contrast essay is a style of essay that points out the similarities and the differences between 2 or more subjects. It's ideal for showing what separates and unites related themes or concepts, particularly if the subjects are often confused for each other or unjustly lumped together. For example, here. Yes, don't worry. I know that you cannot see it, but I'm not gonna ask you to read it, so don't worry. However, what I want to show you is the structure or organization of a compare and contrast essay and some other essays, as the previous group was saying. Here, for example, we can see the title, and we also can say that we have the first paragraph with the thesis statement. When we are talking about compare and contrast essay, for example, yes, we still have, this is the similarity, we have the title, for example, but in the first paragraph, we have the introduction and the thesis, a short or brief introduction and the thesis statement. After that, instead of having, for example, definition or example, we have important points introduced by topic sentence, introducing point 1, that will contrast the second part, or what we are comparing or contrasting with the second point. Here we could see that we can have, for example, 2 or more paragraphs contrasting or comparing. And at the end, we also can have the conclusion. So the title, the thesis statement, and the conclusion, they are similar with the contrast and compare essay. They are similar with some other type of essays. But the body of this essay might vary. Let me ask you, if we are required to compare or contrast 2 famous paintings, what is the first thing that we might do? Well, we might search facts, the painter, differences, for example, how famous they are, the year of their creation, and much more. However, if we are required to compare 2 famous images based on culture or popularity, the process will be the same, but the statement can be based on our knowledge. We might have the point from the image A, for example, against or compared, or some similarity from the point B. Let's move on. How to write a compare and contrast essay. Here, I have a very short image that can show you the structure that we can follow. First things first. You need to choose which subjects you are comparing. So you might have a subject A with subject B. You can identify, let's show you this example. Two different dogs. Once you've settled on your subjects, for example, you can begin generating ideas, brainstorming. It helps to first list all the similarities and differences between those two subjects. When you see them all written down, imagine those examples. We have the differences, and we have also some other ideas that we can use to compare them or to contrast them, to have the differences. So we can start formulating connections and decide what structure to use for our compare and contrast essay. And if we are going to use those examples for our students, we can start with simple essays, with simple topic. It can be about clothing, it can be about food, it can be about schools, sports, etc. Once we have them with the capacity, or even ourselves, once we already have the capacity to identify their own characteristics, their differences, so we are able to start organizing our contrast and compare essay. Here we have the organization part. Compare and contrast essays follow our own recommended essay structure, while the linked guide goes into more detail in a nutshell. Your compare and contrast essay should follow a simple format of beginning, middle, and ending. So we can have an introduction where we explain our thesis and what our essay will discuss, what the topic will be about, like a short and brief introduction with the thesis statement. Then the body of the essay, which will contain or will have as many paragraphs as necessary. And once we complete them, explain the similarities and the differences, we run to the conclusion, where we wrap up or summarize our points. That is all for today. This is Santa Martinez, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.